If you take a look at both of these, they're both the same patterns. One has dark and details. If you want to make yours look like the one on the left, start by darkening your thick black section lines and some of your biggest lines and adding in different details. So I'm going to go on and start off by darkening those thick lines and watch how it changes the one on the right to look more bold and stand out. Now I'm going to go over some of my big shapes with that thick black marker, using the side of the marker to get that thick line. Then I can go in and start adding details. I'm going to use a regular Sharpie and just add a little black rectangle inside all of these. I'm going to add some dotted lines to add details. Then I'm going to start coloring in some tiny details. I don't want to color in too much black because you don't want your entire paper to be black because you're going to be painting it with the glitter watercolors. So I'm going to go back in and look and see if I can add any extra details. I'm just going to add some dots in these triangles, outline this shape that's already there with my marker, and add some straight lines and diagonal lines. Repeating my lines is really what's going to make your artwork stand out. Now I could stop here, or I could go in and darken and fill in some more. I'm just going to go in and make these black and white stripes. Now that you think you're done, you're going to grab the super skinny Sharpie and add extra tiny details. All I'm doing is going in and adding little stripes, and it's just gonna give it a little extra pop. Taking a closer look, zooming in, you can see all those tiny little details that are really going to make your artwork stand out. Make sure you're working on your craftsmanship. So if you're adding those little lines, make sure you're putting them inside the shape you're trying to. Now it's time to start painting. Each glitter watercolor will have their own cup and own brush. The brushes are all in the middle. Do not put them in unless you're going to use the color. You're just going to dip in. Make sure you stir the paint. If you don't stir it, you're not going to get that glitter. It's all going to be stuck to the bottom. Then go in and take your time filling in your colors. I wish that I planned out my colors a little bit before I started. So I recommend thinking about maybe different colors you want to use before starting. You may also decide to leave some parts white, like that bottom corner. I was going to do blue and white, and then I ended up coloring it blue. I wish I left it white. For this section, I'm just going to paint the entire section yellow, and then choose a color that's next to yellow on the color wheel to add over the top. So I could add either orange or green. So I'm going to add green to my little squares. What color would I not want to add? Again, for this section, I'm going to paint the entire thing blue, and then I'm going to go back in and choose colors that will blend nice with blue to go over the top for some detail. Couple things to remember is you don't want to pick up your painting. You don't want your paints to drip. You don't want puddles. Make sure you're smoothing out and spreading out all of your paint. Don't go back for more paint until you need it. If your colors are really light and you want them a little bit darker, let that section dry a little bit and then paint over it again. But don't paint over a spot while it's still super wet, or it might make a hole in the picture.